Is when political systems start to break down. Democracy in America isn't dying with a bang. It is a collective shrug. We just don't care. So back in 2016, an election set off alarm bells across everywhere. Media and politicians and business leaders, everybody was clutching their pearls about a threat to democracy. Now, fast forward to 2025, and those same people apparently decided that democracy really wasn't worth the effort at all. We're like, survive the first term. What's the big deal? Now, here's the reality check. America's been backsliding for about a decade, maybe more. Take a look at Freedom House. In 2014, the United States scored 92 out of 100, sitting alongside France. By 2021, we've crashed to an 83. That is below, say, Argentina and tied with Panama and maybe Romania. It's not a blip. That could be a little bit of a trend. So the timing for all of this, just where we don't care, couldn't be worse because unlike 2016, all the guardrails are now gone. Think about it geographically. When countries transition to authoritarianism, it's not usually a sudden transition. It's a slow erosion. The constitutional structures remain standing like empty buildings after everybody has moved out of there. Now, what's different in Trump's second term? Pretty much everything. Back in 2016, Trump had no experience, no plan, no team. The Republican old guard wasn't on board. He filled his administration with establishment figures who basically babysat him for 4 years. That's all gone. President now dominates his party completely. The GOP has been systemically purged of anybody who wouldn't bend the knee. And the Supreme Court immunity decision basically says it's a permission slip for presidential lawlessness. You can do whatever you want for power. Now, America's not heading for a classical dictatorship. We're not turning into North Korea or anything like that, or Russia. Now, what we're evolving to is what political scientists call competitive authoritarianism. That's a system where elections still happen, opposition parties still exist, but the playing field gets systemically tilted to favor the ruling party. Think of Hungary or Turkey or Venezuela under Hugo Chavez. The beautiful thing about competitive authoritarianism is if you're the authoritarian, you don't really need to abolish elections. You just need to control enough levers of power to make winning them a near certainty. Playbook's pretty clear. Use government agencies to target your opponents. Weaponize the IRS against political donors. Bring defamation suits against critical media. Apply regulatory pressure to companies that fund opposition groups. Not too hard. American federalism and our independent judiciary is going to stop the worst excesses. The military is not going to march on Congress. But the cumulative effect will be a democracy in name only, where opposition becomes increasingly costly and risky. Now, here's the demographic reality that makes this particularly dangerous. All of us, Americans, are more polarized and sorted geographically than at any point in modern history. When half the country views the other half as an existential threat, they're willing to tolerate democratic backslapping. Now, here's the demographic reality that makes this particularly dangerous.